Hello, in this video I'd like to explain why I believe that now is one of the best investing opportunities, certainly of this decade and maybe even of your lifetime. So my name is Simon Zutshi, I'm the founder of the Property Investors Network. I've been investing in property since 1995, that's 23 years, and I'm author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 bestseller. And I'm actually in Iceland at the moment. I'm at the Blue Lagoon, which is a really famous kind of tourist resort. It's hot springs and kind of milky blue kind of water. I'm going in there in about half an hour, and I'm filming this here because I want to remind you about what happened in 2008. As you remember, in the UK there was a massive property prices crash, and some people believe that because of Brexit and the uncertainty of Brexit, and if there's no deal, we might have a similar property crash that we had in 2008. Now, whilst many people are panicking about this, I believe actually this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is never going to be repeated again. So listen carefully, because I'm going to tell you how you can profit from this opportunity. So back in 2008, the world had the credit crunch. The reason was, in the mid-2000s, property prices were booming and banks around the world were lending money to people who couldn't really afford to pay those mortgages. They couldn't afford to pay the debt. And towards the end of 2007 into 2008, banks started to realize this, and banks realized that actually they'd never get their money back, basically. And so Northern Rock closed in November 2008. And in Iceland, where I am right now, many of the banks completely crashed and put Iceland into a massive recession. Now, when the property crash came, banks just didn't want to lend money on property. Most of the mortgages out there were in negative equity, and it was a really bad situation. In the UK, the banks were bailed out by the government, and some of them are still really kind of partly owned and controlled by the government, or they have sold some back to the public. But the point is that at that time, there was one strategy that could be used to control property, and that was purchase lease options. It's a strategy which you may have heard about, but most people don't really understand it. And it's where you can control a property and get cash flow and equity growth from a property you don't own. And because you don't actually own it, it means you don't need to get a mortgage. So I started using options back in about 2007. I used a lot in 2008. And it's something I've used ever since. Now, they don't work for every circumstance, but in the right circumstance, they can work really, really well. The other time they work really well, which is also happening right now, is because of Section 24. So Section 24 is the tax change that came in April 2017. And basically what happens is it means that higher rate taxpayers, if you own property in your own name, you're going to pay a lot more tax. What this means is lots of landlords are thinking about selling up their properties. Now, I believe that we are going to see a dip in property prices, not a crash, but a dip in property prices next year, because all these landlords, they want to get rid of their stock. They don't want to have be having all the same amount of work, hassle and effort over the next 4 years to get less and less profit in their pocket every single year. So I think many landlords are looking to retire early. There are always retiring landlords in any market, but we're seeing even more of them. And at the property shows, at the PIN meetings, this is a significant trend we're seeing happening. So this is happening right now. And with the added uncertainty about what's going to happen because of Brexit, there are people who are prepared to sell their properties for a lot less than they're worth. And this is the concern that happens. I remember one of my clients buying properties in London just before the Brexit referendum. She was able to buy a £7 million property for £5.5 million. That's £1.5 million discount, a 21% or so discount, just because the owner was terrified about what would happen to property prices if we left Europe. Now, that's obviously happening. At the moment, there's no deal. So likewise, at the moment, there's a huge amount of uncertainty and worry in the market about what's actually going to happen. So what this means is right now, there's this incredible opportunity. If you know what to do, if you're buying the right kind of properties at the right price with a strong rental demand, there's a great opportunity. Now, sometimes people say, well, hang on, if prices are going to drop, why don't we just wait? Why don't we wait until they get to the bottom and then we can buy? Well, here's the thing. If they get to the bottom and start to recover, everyone will feel that they're recovering, and you won't be able to get the same kind of discounts. And my view is that as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you follow the 5 golden rules in Property Magic, so you're buying in rule number 2, in there is strong rental demand, rule number 3, it makes positive cash flow, and rule number 4, you're buying for long term, it doesn't really matter if in the short term property prices drop. If you buy something today and 6 months later it's worth less, it doesn't matter as long as it makes you positive cash flow, and as long as you believe in the long term property prices are going to recover, which generally happens in the UK because we live on an island with a limited supply of accommodation. So over the long term, property prices continue to rise. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, right now, there are lots of landlords who are looking to sell their properties, partly fueled by Section 24, but made even worse by Brexit, and those people worrying that the value might drop to, maybe 35% off the price, which is what some papers have been saying could happen as a worst case scenario. So if they bought their properties a while ago, they obviously want to get as much as they can for properties they're selling, but if they think, hang on, I want to get rid of this, I don't have to hold it for another 10 years, I better sell it at a discount to sell it quickly. This uncertainty is the biggest opportunity you are facing right now. And by using purchase lease options, we can actually control those properties without putting in a large deposit and without getting your own mortgage. So, I hope you see why now is such an amazing opportunity. I've got to go because I'm going to get into the Blue Lagoon, but all I encourage you to do is if you like this video, please like it, please share it with other people, and look out for the next video in which I'm going to a lot more detail all about purchase lease options, exactly what they are, how you use them, and how you can profit in this incredible time of opportunity. So I'll see you in the next video. Please like and share this one. Thank you.